Hi everyone, welcome here. My name is Oshina. I'm glad that you clicked on this video. I am going to be sharing about new releases in this video, specifically in Christian fiction. I have been reading a little bit of new releases here and there throughout this year, and I wanted to kind of do a check-in of all the new releases that I've read so far and if I would recommend them or not, and then also some new releases that have come out as of August 2025 that I still want to read. So from January to August 2025, new releases that I still want to read. Will I read them? Have you read them? Let me know. Tell me if you think I'll like them. Things like that. So it's new releases up to August 2025, and hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I will also do a anticipated new releases for the rest of the year in an upcoming video. But for now, I wanted to do like a check-in of the new releases I've read. I think on average I read maybe one new release per month, but more other months and then 0 other months. So it kind of just depends. So I'm just gonna go over all of the ones that I've read and give you my review. I guess I'll start with like release date, or I don't actually have release date written for all of these. So I'm just gonna go in the order that I wrote them down, and I will tell you what I thought of them or if I've read them or not. So first of all is Break My Fall by Lynn H. Blackburn. This is book 2 in a series. So quite a few books on this list are in series, and so I'll try to tell you if I think that you can read them out of order or not, or I'll just tell you if I think you should just start book 1 in the series, because for the most part that's what I think. Because in particular for this book, this is the Gossamer Falls series by Lynn Blackburn, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend the first one, but this is the second one, and I gave this 4 stars. I really liked it. I love her writing style. I love her characters, but I found the mystery not that interesting in this one, whereas in the first one, love the mystery, love the characters, love the romance, everything about it I loved. So that was a 5-star. But it's still like definitely a favorite series, and I'm definitely gonna continue the rest of the books. So I'm excited to do that. If you like suspense, faith content, and romance, to me it has the perfect balance, just because the romance actually does play a big part, but it doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like, oh, it makes sense why these characters are liking each other. It's not just because they were thrust together from this like mystery or suspense happening. Yeah, I just really love her books, so I highly recommend. Maybe we'll stick with the suspense theme, because Secondary Target by Angela Carlisle. Technically, this is the first book in a series, and the second book has released. I have not read it, so that is kind of, well, yeah. So 2 Seconds Too Late by Dani Pettrey is another one that I'd recommend, but this again is the second book. And oh yeah, I didn't really say if you can read them out of order. I would say with Lynn Blackburn's, for this series, don't read them out of order, read them in order. I think with her other series, you can read them out of order a little bit more because the series or the mystery doesn't really connect throughout the books. Whereas this one, it just gives you a better backstory on the whole family and the town in the first book. So that's what I think. For 2 Seconds Too Late, it's basically a standalone. Like, I would say you could read these ones out of order. And I liked the first and the second book equally, although I think if I had to pick, I'd pick the first book. So again, I like the first book better, but they're both 4 stars for me. I do really like them. I like Dani Pettrey's writing. Just sometimes she has the action kind of a little too drawn out, and I would want to see more character development. So that's why they're hitting 4 stars, not 5. But I still am liking this series quite a bit, and I still would recommend it as like one of the better romantic suspenses that I've read in a while. So I do think you could get into this series and enjoy it. So yeah, book 2, 2 Seconds Too Late. And it follows like a family of 3, so there's 2 brothers and a sister, and the third book will be coming out next year, so I'm excited about that. So again, book 2 in a series is The Final Word by Laura Thomas. So this is book 2. I don't remember the series name. I'm sure it does have a name, but I don't know what it is. First book is Captured in Frame, which I gave 5 stars, really enjoyed it. Again, book 2, 4 stars. So book 2s are kind of falling flat for me. Last year I read a lot of great 5-star romantic suspense books, so I'll link a video down below talking about them if I can find one. I think I made one talking about my favorite books of romantic suspense last year. So check that out if you want more recommendations, but this is still a great series to get into. I thought book 2 was still good, but I thought book 1 was stronger, so whatever. This one's fun because it's set in England, so the setting's a little different, but it still has really great faith content, and I would say for the most part you can read them out of order. Like this book 2, yeah, like there's a little bit of follow-up from book 1, but not so much that I think you would be confused if you started with this book, but again, I think book 2 is stronger, so book 1 is stronger, so read book 1. All right, another new release that I read is The Keeper by Charles Martin, and this book I really enjoyed. I've given every single book in this series 4 stars. I just think it's a great series, but it's not like an all-time favorite, so you definitely need to read these books in order, for sure. They are not standalones in any way. So start with The Waterkeeper, that's book 1, which I will show right here. I feel like I recently talked about it, but here's The Waterkeeper book 1. Audiobooks are great, so read the audiobooks, but yeah, The Keeper is the 4th book, and I think the final one in the series, so I do recommend getting into it. It's about human trafficking, and it's pretty intense, but it's not graphic, so I appreciated that, and it can get a little bit drawn out at times, so that's why they're 4 stars, but still his writing style and what it's about is so compelling that I do still enjoy reading them. Next up, Descended by Melissa Koslin. This book was so fun. I gave it 4 stars. If you like Melissa Koslin's writing, this is another great example of her deep writing. I love the way she describes characters and what it's like to be in the character's head, the way she describes their thoughts, and they're just always so smart and layered and interesting, and I just recommend her writing. And she also covers like really big, interesting topics that I don't see anyone else talking about in their books. Like, she's quite unique in what she decides to write about. So she has 2 traditionally published books and 2 indie published, and I recommend any one of them, but Descended is the book that I gave 4 stars, and the rest of her books I gave 5. So again, I do think she has stronger books in other years of releases, but this one is a new release and I would still recommend it. Okay, I am going to talk about just clean general fiction as well. So these books don't have specific faith content, but they're either published by a like Christian publisher or like a publisher known for publishing Christian fiction, or it's just like clean, no language, no spice. So I'm going to talk about those 2. So first up is Second Chance at Sunshine Inn by Amy Clipston. This was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars, maybe 5 or 4. It was close. Like, what I liked about it, and I'm going to talk about this in a wrap up, I guess in August, because I finished it at the very beginning of August, but I do definitely recommend this. The audiobook was great, and what stands out is the romance and the character development. So in this one, you're following this inn that is willed to 2 different people. I think they haven't met, or maybe they knew each other before. No, I don't think so. They had never met, but they met once the owner of the inn passes away and wills it to both of them, and it's a guy and a girl. The guy, I think, lives there, I want to say, and the girl like comes to town to like deal with it, and she wants to sell it, he doesn't, so it's one of those things. But the way that the author wrote that story, it wasn't predictable, it wasn't, I don't know, boring, I guess. Like it was actually interesting because the characters had layers. Again, they had emotions, they had deep thoughts about how they felt about their friend passing away and then working together, and yes, there was conflict, but it didn't feel dumb, like that they were just being rude to each other. It was like true like heart problems that they had to work through, and there were family issues in there. Like, I just thought that it did have a lot of good depth and I liked it. And then the romance was satisfying. Like, it definitely was like an enemies to lovers situation, but it wasn't annoying. So I would definitely recommend this. And I think if there was faith content, I would have given it 5 stars, but that was probably the piece that was like missing in terms of like making the story like super quality for me. But for what it was, it's a solid story, and I think a lot of people could like it if you're typically like reading clean books or just like Christian fiction, whatever. It was good. Another one that is similar to the Amy Clipston one is If All Else Fails by Emma St. Clair. This book blew me away, so impressed. 5 stars. And I think it's one of the best rom-coms I've ever read. I'm just gonna say it because the depth is there. I know there's been discussion about how rom-coms seem to be really surface level and just about physical attraction, and this definitely had some physical attraction in it, but the characters didn't fall for that. They more so like had to work out their issues, and they had to work on their personal issues and their issues with each other, and seeing that play out was so satisfying. I think she did it so well with humor laced all around it so that it was funny, but still had like deep moments that just made the story really compelling. So yeah, I was really impressed with this. It's basically like a forced proximity, brother's best friend, enemies to lovers type style, where this girl goes to this guy's house, he's injured, she nurses him back to health, and they have a history, and it's all that, like childhood friends to lovers as well. And it was really cute. And there is a bit of a sailing aspect, but that doesn't come in until like a ways into the book, even though like it's on the front cover. But for like the first half, they're not on the water. So yeah, I really liked it though, and I thought it was very funny, and I recommend it. Okay, another romantic suspense is Storm Morning by Elizabeth Goddard. This book was a letdown just because it felt very basic. I feel like I've said that, but it was a straightforward romantic suspense, but nothing stood out to me. I'm gonna easily forget it. I don't even remember much about the characters. Like, it just was nothing special to me. But if you like romantic suspense, or if you already like this author's writing or whatever, like, sure, you might like this book. But I give it 3 stars. I'm not going to recommend it on my channel, probably, just because there was nothing, like, it just felt like action for the sake of action, and the characters were not interesting at all, and it was a cool premise, but like just a boring execution, to be honest. So that's all I'll say about it. Yeah, you're not going to see it much on my channel. Okay, another one that is so good is The Summer of You and Me by Denise Hunter. I loved this book, and I've seen that it's not for everyone just because of the different dynamics that are in it within the relationship, but I thought she wrote the complex emotions involved in this situation so perfectly that I just felt like it was a real story I was reading, and I could just see it being so realistic. I really liked it for that. And then plus, I don't know, I was just in the right mindset to really love this book, and I was surprised, but yeah, I gave it 5 stars. So the like kind of complex relationship dynamic is that this woman had a husband. He passed away when he was in the army. His brother, his younger brother, always had a thing for her, like even before she got together with the brother. But now that the brother has been passed away for 5 years, the other brother starts to make a move on this girl, and she's conflicted. She's like, am I dishonoring my husband's name? Like, what's going on? But oh, I do kind of have feelings for this guy, and just like, it's that. And I thought she dealt with it perfectly, to be honest. Like, it did not feel uncomfortable, it didn't feel inappropriate, but the reactions of the families and the characters themselves, like, I thought it all matched perfectly with the situation. So I really enjoyed reading it. And then plus there's a little mystery in there, and I thought the mystery was dealt with great as well, and I was really interested. So I gave it 5 stars. I would definitely recommend it. Another one I wouldn't really recommend is An Overdue Match by Sarah Monzon. This got 3 stars from me. The relationship just made me so frustrated, so I just can't recommend this. This is not the kind of relationship that I would recommend anyone enter, just because of the way the guy didn't respect her boundaries, not physically, but just like, I guess maybe emotionally. He just like pushed her in every way, in not a respectful way, in my opinion. And I don't know, it was written to seem like he was helping her get out of her shell and like grow as a person, but she was frustrated at him most of the book, and the only thing that made her not like completely shut him down was physical attraction. And there's that shallowness that I don't want to read, and I just didn't like it. So yeah, 3 stars. I don't even remember, like, to be honest, this feels like a 2-star now that I'm thinking about it, but to be honest, don't remember what I liked about it, other than the library content, which, like, that's 2-star level, not 3. So it is what it is. Wouldn't recommend. Done. Okay, I want to talk about a few books that are still on my TBR that have come out. So number 1 is The Voice We Find by Nicole, Deese. I want to read this in September, okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to get to it in August. I accept that. But September, we got to make it happen, right? So I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars, and I hope that I do, but haven't read it yet. But it's a new release, and so many people have loved it. I want to give it 5 stars. Haven't read it yet. Okay, another one that I've heard great things about is The Lawyer and the Laundress by Christine Hill Suntz. I don't know. Came out June 1st. Amanda, basically, book lover Amanda, has spoken highly of this book, and so I do want to read it this year sometime, I hope. And then another one, The Second Story Bookshop by Denise Hunter, is on this list. Comes out October 7th, but heard not great things about the initial reviews, so I will not be reading this book because it's either, oh, I know what it is. It's like the cheating trope where one of the characters has a significant other already and they don't break up like soon enough for it to make sense. So I don't want to read that. I don't care, whatever. It's Denise Hunter, but look, she's really hit and miss, so I accept it. That's it. And that one was, I wasn't supposed to talk about that one because it comes out after August, but there you go. So not a lot of new releases that I haven't read that I want to. So that's a good thing, because the rest are like secular. Let me just double check what's up. Oh, I haven't read First Love, Second Draft by Becca Kinzer. I haven't heard amazing things about this book, and I only liked her first book, not her second, that much. So I'm not like super itching to read this book, so I'm fine if I don't get to it. You know, that's about it. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. I'm gonna link below some videos. So I'll link below more recommendation videos, more anticipated releases videos that I've done in the past that might be interesting to you. And then if I have certain videos, vlogs, or whatever related to the books I talked about, I will link those below as well. And hopefully this is just a helpful resource. Again, I'm gonna write all the books down below that I mentioned in this video. And that is everything so far. I'd love to hear if there is a new release that has come out between January and August of 2025 that you either loved or you still want to read. We're going to look at September to December in future videos, but for now, here we are. So thank you for being here, you guys. Hope this was helpful once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.